Libra, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early January 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Libra collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me about the Libras. What's going on for Libra gang? Energies, messages, insights as we start a fresh, brand new calendar year. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. So let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Libra gang. What's happening? What is the vibe around my good friends here? So we start 2025. What's going on? Beautiful. All right, lots of people for one reason or another. Now, that does not have to be a bad thing or a challenging thing, but when I see this card, it's just a lot of energies or a lot of people. So for some of you out there, maybe it's just an extra energetic sensitivity. And I always feel like this card has a lot of layers to it, which is something I've been seeing for a lot of the different signs this week. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little bit more about this card. So as you can see here with the imagery, it's like we have the man, the woman, we have the different pictures with people's faces in it. Even in the background, there's like shadows of other people walking back there. So it's like people, 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 people. So for a lot of Libras in this time, maybe you're a little extra social, maybe you're talking with a lot of different people, maybe this is a work or business or family thing. It's just like a lot of energy in the mix. Now, if that's not the case, if you're laying low, doing your own thing, cool. This could just be a really strong sensitivity to energy, where it's like, all right, well, the energy of this person could be affecting you and that person. It's just a strong sensitivity or a lot of things. Now, some of you might just be very busy when this card is here too, or there's like a lot on my mind, a lot affecting me. That doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few court cards in this week's reading whenever this one shows up. I mean, it doesn't have to, but I think it's okay. It does also link into the internet for some reason, because it's like kind of Facebook looking illustrated there. So for a lot of Libras, maybe there's something tied to internet or internet usage, but we're just going to leave it at that. They could chill there. Let's get into tarot. And I always say the first card here, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time for the lovely Libras. What's going on here? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Big Surprise. Now, what was coming through to me, I mean, for some of you, could have meant a gift of some sort. To me, it just felt like something coming forth kind of out of nowhere, where it's like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Some of you might have liked it. Some of you maybe not. And that's an energy that could still bleed over for a couple weeks, so keep that in mind. But we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for the lovely Libras in early January. What's happening for my good friends? There we go. Whoa. Okay, we're starting with a tower. Don't get nervous about it, but just like I was saying last week with that surprising energy, now we're starting with a tower. It's like, boom, out of nowhere. So we will talk about it. I always say not every tower is a bad tower, right? That is Scorpio energy. Let's get a couple more. Let's see if we can discern a little more detail about why this is showing up. Hierophant, complete opposite. Complete and total opposite energy here, literally and figuratively, right? Because we got Scorpio, we got Taurus. So it's like we have mayhem in the front, then we have super stable here in the center. Let's get one more out, then we'll piece it together. These are 2 extremes, which I know, I mean, being a Libra, if you are and not a cross watcher, you might not like hearing that. I know Libras are pretty good with balancing things out, but these energies are complete opposite ends of a spectrum. On the back end, okay, so we do have the Page of Pentacles right here on the back, so this could be very conversational, could be talking, and again, I was predicting maybe a court card or 2. So yeah, Libra, we have a reading on our hands this week, that's for sure. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, you know, I always look at the elements first, and I will say this, elementally, we're looking nice, because we have this strong earthy presence Then we have the Tower, which, believe it or not, that's water energy to me because that's Scorpio. So it's like we have earth and water. Now, when I mix earth and water in a reading, to me, most of the time it represents potential, it could represent blessings and abundance. But then again, sometimes when you mix earth and water, you could get a little bit of mud. So I really want to see how these extremes of energies go, because they're complete extremes, complete opposites happening here. And we got this little page talking about it. Let's go through piece by piece and really build this out, because again, and there's going to be a lot of layers here. Position number one, we are starting with the Tower. Now, if you're not familiar with tarot, this is a dreaded card most of the time, right? You see that Tower, it's a scary looking piece of imagery. The people are falling out of it. This is a card of shock. It's a card of upheaval. It's something that boom pops in out of nowhere, like we were seeing. And I always like to ease people's minds by saying, like, listen, everyone has towers. Everyone has multiple towers in their lifetime. Some people have towers every damn week, but they're not all bad, right? Sometimes the result of it could be positive. And I mean, if the result is what we have coming up, this could be really nice. It does link to Scorpio. Now, a big theme with Scorpio, and I'm familiar because I have some placements there, it's an energy of change. It's an energy of transformation, remaking oneself like a phoenix rising. So this can be good. Think of this as wiping the slate clean. All right, so I do like this Tower in some sense, but at the same time, it can be very shocking, explosive, volatile, you name it. So I'm not going to say it's all good, but it's definitely not all bad. It is powerful, extremely, extremely powerful. And it does also link to libido as well. I know that's like a little offshoot energy, but the Tower, I mean, it's a phallic symbol. I think you get where I'm going. But moving to the center, we have the complete opposite. So whereas on the zodiacal wheel, we have Scorpio, its opposite is Taurus, and we have the Hierophant, which is the opposite. So you see how interestingly even tarot and astrology link together, because the Hierophant is everything that the Tower is not. So we see this priestly type of figure, or pope, and he's sitting there on his throne, solid, stable, sturdy, predictable. This is a very long-lasting energy. This is not change. This is averse to change. So I think of this, I think of routine. Now, this isn't a bad card. There's a lot of great ties to it. It's a highly spiritual card. Remember, I was speaking about energetic sensitivity. The Hierophant could really connect to that. Spiritual practice, the Hierophant could really connect to that. But if you're not connected to the Taurus here, when I see this, it's staying put. Okay, so whether this represents your regular schedule, your day-to-day life, it's very predictable. It's within the box, and it's something that's there, and it's long-lasting. It could also connect to long-lasting relationships, people that you've been with for a long time, or people that you were with for a really long time. This is a card of marriage as well. So you see what I mean? Everything about the Hierophant is planted energy, opposite of this. Another thing I will say when we get to the challenge of the Hierophant, because yeah, all that stability might be good for some of you, but others, if you are trying to change something, if you are in a situation where you're not really happy with where it's at, this could be very frustrating. This can sometimes be a problem because the Hierophant is so well ingrained that it's very stubborn and difficult to move through. So we will definitely have to dig into that further as we move along. Now, getting to the very back end, as we get this Hierophant tucked up here by the Tower, we have the Page of Pentacles. Page energy is good to me. It's earthy energy once again. So with all this earth energy, for some Libras, maybe your focus, where maybe your mind is on material things or work things, career. It doesn't have to be, though. This could be a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus type of vibe. All pages are good. They're all students. They're all messengers. So it could represent speaking, talking. So when I see the Page of Pentacles with all this stuff here, there's either volatility in how someone's presenting themselves, or whether there's a mediation going here as well, which I know Libras are usually very good problem solvers. Don't be surprised if you need to mediate something. That could be a possibility here as well. But whenever I see the Page of Pentacles, I think of chit chat, talking, messages. So we're going to have to see how this really goes. But there's good potential with the elements, with this Page of Pentacles on the back end. But yeah, Libra, I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. Let's get a good shuffle here for my Libra friends. Let's see what the vibe is, please. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Tower. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Libra, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Tower time. Why is the Tower here for my good friends this week? What's going on here? Thank you. Whoa. All right, so to me, there's like this energy that is wanting to break free. There's an energy that's like wanting to burst forth. So for some Libras, there could be something, a situation or behavior even where it's like, no, I can't, not yet. I want to, but I can't. It's like giving me that vibe. All the things I was saying about this Hierophant, the Knight of Pentacles, is the same damn thing pretty much. So it's like all this earthy energy is like trying to keep this Tower under wraps. So for a lot of Libras, you might be feeling something build up in a really big way, whether it's an energy within you, whether it's dealing with a situation. It's like, all right, something big is building up underneath the surface. So when I see the Tower with the Knight of Pentacles, couple things to me. Either this is representing a shocking change that's about to come in, because these earthy energies, although strong, they cannot keep this Tower under wraps forever. At some point, that powerful energy is going to come through. So for some Libras, it could be a shocking change of some sort that you might be going through, one that might be coming up. We're going to have to see how it plays out throughout the rest of the reading. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is a talker too, so similar to this Page of Pentacles, so it might be a shocking talk or an unexpected conversation of some sort, surprising or unexpected. So we'll have to see. But the main intuitive vibe I was picking up here is like trying to suppress something. And this energy will burst forth at some point. So those are the main vibes I'm picking up here in the front end with the Tower. I don't necessarily feel like it's a bad thing, but it's like the more you try to suppress something, the stronger it's going to get. So we have the shocking change energy or something dealing with conversational vibes. Let's keep moving. Doesn't necessarily feel bad though. Okay, I mean, if that Knight of Pentacles was in reverse, I'd be a little more concerned. But let's see what the Hierophant has. Let's see what's going on there. I really want to get to that Page of Pentacles too. So what is happening? It is similar thing, very similar thing. And notice all the people. I said it in the very beginning. You can rewind back after the reading and check it out when we had that Oracle card with all the people in it. Remember, I said I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be a couple court cards here. Here they are, all these people. So once again, like I was saying early in the beginning, there's so much energy of other people around you. Okay, so whether it is work, family related, or group dynamics for some of you, there is a potential to get pulled into other people's stuff. That's only a small potential. But when I see the Hierophant with the Knight of Wands, it is the same thing that we have here, but in reverse. Whereas this one's stable, that's volatile. This one's stable, that one's volatile. So it's like flip-flop, flip-flop. Same thing I'm picking up, though, is there's like a suppressing of something. So whether it's you and another person, whether it's two different situations, like to me, I'm just getting this energy of like, no, I just gotta let it settle down, gotta suppress it. It's not going to stay suppressed forever. Whatever it is, it's not going to stay suppressed forever, because I feel like it all ties in. The energy will flip. There's like no avoiding it. Now, the Knight of Wands could be a fire sign you're connected to, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If that's not the case, this is a fiery card of action. So similar, you see what I mean? So it's like that yin yang, which is actually a symbol that gets linked to Libra quite a bit. So I think you understand this energy. They are extremes, but there's a big shift in vibe coming. And once again, conversationalist, another one, and another one. There's a lot of talking here. There's a lot of talking where like one is more aggressive, another's more passive. It's like they're both trying to suppress, but the energy will break. The energy is going to break through. So that shocking talk thing I saw earlier, that still plays. So let's keep moving over to the Page of Pentacles, see what he has to say. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So why is that page here? Well, let's see what the page has to say for us. Please and thank you. Thank you. All right, Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, there it is. Talking about it. There it is, talking about it. Now, the Nine of Pentacles, to me, all right, there might be a way to soften this energy that I was picking up, because with all this suppression and stuff like that, like for some of you, you might need a release valve of energy, because like the more you try to suppress something, the more you try not to think about it, it's like it's going to remind you more and more and more. So when I see the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, that's again another card of change. Usually in the upright, this is very grounded, very abundant. Remember, just like these guys here within the reading itself, the Nine of Pentacles is just super lovely, but it is not going nowhere. So when it shows up in reverse, it's like, yeah, it's going somewhere now. I do feel like this could be the importance of communication for a lot of you. When I see the Page of Pentacles with this Nine of Pentacles in reverse, it's like if there's something you are holding back from, if there's something that is making you uncomfortable, or if there's some sort of pressure building, I feel like if you just talk about it with someone, that's going to help you quite a bit and relieve some of the pressure. This could be talking through issues and talking through problems, and this could be a stabilizing force. But there's just so many people, there's so much powerful energy underneath the surface. So it has some similarities to last week, but now it's just intensified. So it's like last week's energy times 10. It's like just intensifying and getting stronger. So let's go through and do a quick recap, and we'll get into the shadow card. I mean, probably the most intriguing reading I've filmed so far this week. But if you kindly look in the box, we have this beautiful yin yang of energy happening. Lots of people. We have the Tower clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. So at first I said this could be a shocking change coming in. It could also represent trying to suppress something. But as I mentioned, it's like the more you suppress it, the more the energy and the power is going to build. So either a shocking change or a shocking talk. And with all these people here, the talks don't surprise me. It could be multiple for some of you, because moving to the center, we have the Hierophant with the Knight of Wands. So the same thing, but in reverse. So whether this is two people mirroring each other, whether it's two totally separate situations, it's like, no, same thing, same goal. We have the same end, which could be good for problem solving. But there's like multiple energies of suppression. Moving to the back end, we have the Page of Pentacles with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So just talking to someone about it could be very good for a lot of you to relieve some of that. But yeah, a change is coming in a situation. And listen, life is about perpetual change and nothing ever stays the same. But this feels pretty significant. Okay, so if it's whatever the regularly scheduled program has been, it's in for a quick change. So please take a screenshot if you want to look at it further. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. So let's get a good shuffle here and see what Libra has in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull one of these at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be very good too. So let's get you one. And if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get your shadow here. Let's get your shadow here. Thank you. Yeah, discretion. In this deck, the discretion card is actually the judgment card. So it has a lot of links to this energy we were feeling throughout, because usually judgment is Plutonian. Pluto rules over Scorpio. It's about change. It's very explosive if you look into the meanings of the judgment card. So again, it's just more reiteration that an energy is intensifying for a lot of you. It's like, all right, well, even if you try to put it out of sight, out of mind, or even if you try to ignore it, it's like the more you fight it, the stronger it gets, if that makes sense. Which, again, not saying, I don't want to say that like ignoring something's the best way to go, but to me, it's just like, it's going to cause a reaction. Like the more you try to put it to the side, the more it's going to react. That's just how this feels to me. And judgment can sometimes represent things coming back around too. So I'll just put that out there. But interesting stuff how we had a pretty congruent theme throughout the reading this week. But yeah, Libra, that's what I have for you, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the January subscriber surprise. If you would like to get a personal reading from me and get a little forecast for what 2025 has in store for you, you can check out my website and digital calendar at mastermetaphysics.com to look for availability. But for the January subscriber surprise, we are once again giving away 3 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what is your main goal for the 2025 calendar year? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab as usual, my friends. Much love, and I'll see you soon.